So consider when you're sitting with an emotion, and an emotion is really just a mentalized feeling. A feeling is a vibration, it's energy, something that you picked up when you were young, it's something that's active within you, it wants to be expressed, so it gets into our mind. Then we have what we call an emotion. That emotion is usually based in thought that has a position to it. We see something from a linear perspective. This caused this thing that's happening is something I don't like, and now I'm going to try to control, manipulate it. Maybe I'm going to escape it, or maybe we're not going to do anything, and we don't want to accept the way that we feel, so we suppress it, and eventually it gets bottled up and it comes back out. So what we're doing when we're sitting with an emotion, or in this case a feeling, is we're trying to get out of our own way. We're observing the feeling. We can't fix it, and I've said this in other posts that we can't change a problem with the same mind that created it. And the problem isn't in your mind necessarily. Again, we can kind of change the way that we're looking at something. We can reframe things, and that can be powerful, but that only takes us so far. So to truly transform something, we have to surrender it. And what we're doing when we're letting go or surrendering is that we're letting go of the positionalities that we have relative to the feeling. By doing so, we're giving it up to something much greater, whether that's God, source, higher consciousness, the divine, all that is, whatever you want to call the thing that you're connected to, the all-knowing thing out there. That's what's doing the work. So when you're in present awareness and when you feel love, if you think about the moments in your life when you've experienced love and true joy, happiness, and bliss, it's because you were being present. So that aspect of you is joining you in that experience. That is ultimately who we are at our source. And that's how we experience our source. That's how we experience love, is when we're connected without positionality, without judgment, to all that is. So when you're sitting with a feeling, you're allowing it, the higher self, the higher connection, all that is, source, to come into your experience of that feeling and kind of adjust it, recalibrate it, if you will. So it can't do it all at once. At least a lot of times we don't allow it to all happen all at once. So what you're doing by sitting with it is you're allowing this higher energy, this higher vibration that comes from this greater source, if you will, and it gets down into that area, and they fight a little bit. These two energies are kind of battling against each other, but over time that lower vibration, that lower energy will raise closer to the higher one. And so your mind, the idea of who you are, and this mental processing aspect, will not fix this at that level. By letting go and surrendering this to that thing that is within you, that is around you, that is all connected to everything else, is what's doing the work. It's high energy, it's high vibration, and that vibration, the higher one, will always win. And so every time you sit with a subject, an idea, a problem, it should be different by virtue of the fact that the higher energy will raise the calibration of that consciousness, whatever that is, that energy. It is a level of consciousness that's active within you, and that slowly raises. And it may take a month, it may take 2 months for it to finally work itself out, but it will in time raise itself to a place where you then can think about something from a new perspective. And that's the beauty of doing this work, is once you get your mind out of the way and you can be with a feeling, with equanimity, no judgment, it will raise. And as it raises, your thoughts about the subject will also change. So as your feeling changes, your thoughts will raise in their vibration as well. It's kind of like you're tuned into a new channel, and the thoughts that you have relative to that subject, as they change, that will help anchor in the mental processing that goes along with that sensation. So now you are creating language that supports the new vibration that you're experiencing. That's pretty powerful.